Welcome to the video. I hope everybody I hope everybody have a nice Christmas, and that's all I gotta say. Merry Christmas to everybody. Anyway, and on to the video. Hello. Yeah, just want to make this video, and I have a lot to say in this video. Um, my parents, both my mom and my dad, have approached me and told me that I'm going around saying things on Facebook that I shouldn't be saying. Talking about things on Facebook that's personal, and I haven't said anything that was personal. First, my father says that I'm going around saying hateful things. I'm saying that I hate Obama and I hate Texas and all this. But I haven't said anything like that on Facebook at all. I haven't. But if I said something, but if I hate something, I'll explain why I hate it. Okay. I don't know, after 9/11, people are so frightened and thinking that they're watching people who are saying things online, saying hateful things, and if they do, they'll nail them for it. But I haven't said anything of the kind. So, and plus, my mother accused me of saying personal things by telling people, by giving out my address to people, by telling them where I live. And to me, what she said to me didn't make a whole lot of sense. So just want to clear that up. I'm just going to say this. I remember when I graduated from high school. I was standing with my classmates on the football field, and everybody was ready to walk across that stage and get that piece of paper from some teacher who could care less about him if they taught him anything or not. So yeah, some of the people I went to school with, people saw me and they talked to me and want to know where I was at, and I just ignored them. I didn't say anything to them, and it was shocking. One of them gave me a hug. This was shocking. I guess we were all graduating and we're not going to see each other again. And yeah, after high school, after after I walked across that stage and got that piece of paper, um, my dad threw me on disability, um, to get to get money from Social Security and getting food stamps. And while this was going on, I mean, my mother told my dad about, you can have Richard go and like talk for himself. And my dad told my mother, well, he's not a people person. Basically, after all that, my dad just sheltered me from the world. He never taught me financial stuff like, using a checkbook, um, paying land and property taxes, going to the grocery store and using food stamps to buy food at the grocery store. I can't serve jury duty. Um, let's see, what else I can't. I can't serve jury duty, and let's see what else I can't do. And yeah, and I can't. Oh, I think I can. I can go to the DMV and get a new driver's license, and that's the only thing I can do. But all the other stuff that that people who I went to school with, who can do for themselves, I can't do any of that stuff. Why? Because I have learning issues where I can't read or I can't comprehend what I read and can't remember what I've learned. So basically, the idea is just shelter me from the world and just do everything for me and just keep me stupid and just give me money to go out and just spend money on whatever I want. And and my dad did something that was just totally weird. He taught me how to use magic shave. Well, actually, he didn't teach me nothing. I mean, he just put this magic shave on me to get rid of razor bumps and nicks on my neck and my face. And the stuff smelled. All he did was just shave me with a butter knife, had me take all my clothes off, get in the bathtub, and he's wash all this stuff off. And I complained about it, and he said this, "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay." And it was just downright creepy. And I couldn't talk to anybody my own age because everybody's all grown up. Everybody had to have their own mindset and want to do what they want to do with their lives. And I just didn't have the same mindset as them, and I just couldn't talk to them. I just couldn't relate to them. So I went around and taught the children in the church, and I gave candy to children in the church. I gave elderly women candy in the church, and my dad went and just ate me up about it and told me not to do this anymore. He just went crazy and weird about it and just told me not to do this stuff anymore. And I kept doing it, and he just kept telling me not to do it anymore. And my sister, my mom, sees what I do, and they go and tell him what I did, and he goes and confronts me about it. And this is on just about everything. But when it comes to doing things that people my age are doing, learn how to do what they're doing. I mean, it's scary to my father if I take a checkbook and I write out a check and never document a check that I use. You have to subtract how much money you take out of your bank account when you write out a check in the transaction register, and document how much the check is, who you wrote it out to, and subtract how much you taken out. And you got to write that down on a transaction register and present that to your bank. But if you don't do that and just keep writing checks out, you just basically writing out hot checks, and you'd be arrested for forgery. And my father is afraid to teach me this because I'm going to do that. And he won't give me a chance to learn this. I can catch on and learn this and do this the right way, but he doesn't want to do it. So therefore, he's going to do everything for me and treat me like a child if I do something childish and petty. If I do something childish, he will say this to me. You can't be acting like a child. You're a grown man. And he won't teach me all the financial stuff, all the important stuff that people my age who I graduated from high school with who are doing. He won't teach me none of this, but he won't care if I just go and just basically just go out and just spend my money on toys and candies, something I really don't do. If I really do this, he wouldn't care. Or if I just walk around in Spider-Man underwear and no shirt or nothing, which I'm not gonna do. Well, I'm an adult. I do things that people my age are doing. It's just that something I was born with. It's something I just gotta just get over and get used to it and try to learn things. Have someone teach me the right way, but I don't have anybody who will do that for me, so I'm basically screwed. Yeah, I had jobs in the past. Yeah, I had jobs in the past, and I got fired from all three of them because got mistreated, got yelled at, bullied, picked on, yelled at, and I remember well I remember I was working at this place, making the bale, like putting stuff in the baler and crushing it, crushing trash up in a baler. I mean, I can't describe it. Some old guy who was my boss, he was this old white guy. He walks up to me, he pushes me as hard as I can, say, come on, get him, go, make a zone, you gotta go zone, and something like that. Yeah, he pushed me as hard as I can. It almost hit something, and I couldn't say anything to anybody, or I could say anything to the boss or anybody because nobody wouldn't care, nobody wouldn't believe me, you know. So yeah, got mistreated by police officers, cops. Nearly got ran over by one at a gas station. Um, got yelled at and talked down to by some of them. Mostly from the ones from the Texas Highway Patrol. Those guys. Um, and I noticed this really. And I noticed this. I remember I went on Facebook, and I talked to some of the people who I went to school with. I don't want to disrespect any of them because some of them think they're so smart because they use these big words, like honestly and I assume and homebody. I mean, I'm just gonna say this, just because you walked across the stage and got a piece of paper doesn't make you smart. I mean, you're no better than the next person at all. You know, um, a lot of them think they're so educated. I ran into some are a bunch of religious weirdos and nut jobs. And I don't want to disrespect the entire Sabine high school class of 1999. I don't want to disrespect all of them, but to be honest, I think a lot of them aren't that smart. They're good people, but they're not that smart. And let's face it, the entire education system in America is a joke. Yes, and a lot of Americans are just ignorant of the world. They're just ignorant of the world and how the world works and how the world is. And a lot of them don't want to travel, and they just look at America and where they live as the world. Like I'm just going to compare someone who traveled to other parts of the world, to countries overseas, versus someone who never traveled. A person who traveled overseas, they have a better understanding of the world. They they view they view other cultures, and see how people live and see how things are, and and they come back to America and they feel different. Traveling changed their lives. You got a lot of Americans who went overseas and came back, and they complained that traveling didn't change their lives. And those type of people just want to be ignorant and just stuck in a box, and just view America as the world, and they just look at America like it's it. And there's more to this. There's more to America. There's more to this world than than being in America, than being here in America. And yeah, I heard someone told me that I mean, people who aren't disabled, people who don't have a disability, have common sense versus people who don't have a disability, who don't have no common sense at all. You know, and those people who aren't disabled, who don't have no common sense, some I don't know, they view people with disabilities as like like outcasts. They feel sorry for them if they've been mistreated or hurt, and and they say things like, oh, he's a wonderful person, he's so great. At the same time, they probably don't talk about these people and don't even give them a passing thought. And it's kind of like this guy with Down syndrome. I'm not gonna say his name, who got hit by a white van, and he was rushed to the hospital. And before he died, the police came and asked him who hit him, and the only thing he could say is someone hit me in a white van. I guess he didn't know who it was, and he died. And heard this on the radio before I went to work. And I said to myself, "Whoa, hey, I know that guy. I went to school with him." I kind of remember seeing him like riding a bicycle. He was going. I think I heard rumors that people were going to. He was going to visit some friends, I guess. And there was this guy who I went to who I worked with at this job I used to have. He's from El Monte, California. He's Mexican. And he was a cool guy, and I liked him. And he liked me because I did an impression of Scarface. Um, I told him about it, and he said, "Hey, I worked at this Walmart, and there was a lot of people who worked there knew him. That guy who was hit by a white van." And yeah, so I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna disrespect the entire class, the entire Sabine High School class of 1999. I'm not gonna disrespect any of these people. Yeah, these people went on to living great lives. A lot of them got married. A lot of them had children. And I talked to one who is still raising some kids. This is a woman. I'm not gonna say her name. She had a lot of boys, and she was like raising them. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I probably ain't gonna see any of these people again. And therefore, I really don't care. I really don't care. But if I go to their house, if I talk to a woman who I went to school with, her husband probably gonna come up to me with a dirty look on his face and say this: "Sir, get away from my wife. If you don't get away from my wife, I'm gonna put a boot up your ass. Don't mess with Texas, son. Don't mess with the horns. You're gonna get the bowl. You're gonna get the horn. Don't mess with the horns. Don't mess with the bowl. You're gonna get the horns, son." So yeah, and they're gonna be all courteous and say that, "Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am." It's like, it seems like everybody in Texas is just like to be so courteous all the time. Like, they say it a million times. It's just creepy. Like, to me, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being courteous, but saying yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, all the time, with a smile on your face and with a straight look on your face, like, it's kind of creepy. And and I see past all that. All that friendliness here in Texas is just, to me, it's just totally fake. And people here are just so big on the death penalty here, you know. Yeah, yeah, I'm just gonna say this, you know, I want to say this, I think, when I went overseas, I just feel happy overseas, I mean, when I was in the United Kingdom, um, I remember I got on this bus to go to this cruise ship in Southampton, England, that sailed to other countries in Europe. Um, I remember I was on this bus. This bus sounded really, really funny. Like it's it sounded really funny. Um, it was the funniest thing like I have ever heard. And when I was on this bus, I was going down the motorway, as the British call them, through London and out into the countryside and towards Southampton. It was the most funniest thing. I mean, this is how this bus sounded. This it was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like, this bus sounded weird, and also when I was on this bus, an Italian woman wanted to talk to me, and and I was just too shy, and got on the cruise ship. I mean, there was this waiter girl. I mean, she was kind of cute, and she walked up to me while I was eating some food in the restaurant on the cruise ship, and she asked me, did I want anything? I had food in my mouth, and she started laughing and giggling, and she kind of reminded me of someone who I went to school with, who found me very funny, and also I talked to some British people, some Americans, and couldn't talk to any of the Canadians. The Canadians were kind of weird, antisocial, they were strange people. Yeah. So yeah. Also, when I was in Norway, the people were very, very cold. Not very talkable. Um, in Belgium, talked to this. I mean, some fat guy came up to me while I was walking through this unknown city in Belgium. Some fat guy walked up to me and wanted to talk to me. He asked me like, "Do I want this sweet celery stick vegetable that he was gonna offer me?" I said, "No, thank you." And I told him like what country I was from, and he said, I told him I was from the United States. And he said, "Oh, big country, big country." I think that guy was a shopkeeper. I think he owned some shop in this little small town. And also, I got on this bus. I sat next to this lady, and I was talking to this guy. Um, talking to this guy from let's see, I think he's from Scotland. He was Scottish. And I told him about the hot weather, and he was shocked, and he had this shocked look on his face. He was shocked when I told him about how hot it was in some of the states in the U.S. Yeah, yeah. Also, this was crazy in Belgium, in a small town. There was people riding bicycles. Like, bicycles were all over the place. Bicycles were everywhere. They were everywhere, all over the place. It was insane. Like, people were riding bicycles. People were like walking, taking transit, like buses, trains. And you hardly ever see people drive around in cars like you do here in America. Also, when I was in France, I noticed that I didn't see no fat people. Nobody in France was fat. I mean, except for like saw a fat person in Belgium and the other in some in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has a obesity problem just like America. Yeah, you know, when I was overseas, like all the bitterness, all the negativity, all the crap that I went through here in America just disappeared. I just felt good in America. I just felt good overseas. I mean, I just felt good about myself. I mean, I'm just gonna say this. My parents are chewing me out because I'm saying things on Facebook that I shouldn't be saying on Facebook. And my dad is afraid I'm gonna lose it and end up like these mass shooters and all this crazy stuff here in America. People are so paranoid and treating people like dirt and triggering them to go on mass shootings. You know, I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna cut ties with people who I went to school with, the entire Sabine High School class of 1999. I'm gonna cut ties with my parents, people on my mother's side of the family, people on my father's side of the family. People. I mean, I have a cousin who had a baby and didn't want my sister to see the baby. And also on my father's side of the family, I mean, my sister was holding one of my cousin's babies, like their children, and they came over and snatched the child away from my sister and walked off. I'm going to cut ties with them. And, I'm just going to just probably just leave the States and just go overseas, and I might go to this country. I mean, the name of this country is on this hoodie that I'm wearing right now, and I'll show it to you. There it is. It's a bright red Canada hoodie. I bought it at a souvenir shop in Victoria, British Columbia. And the souvenir shops in Victoria are so ridiculously expensive. Yeah. So yeah, I know my dad's gonna see this video and he's gonna tell my mother to go and confront me about what I posted on my Facebook page. But you know what? I really don't care. I don't go. I am not gonna say my. I'm not gonna tell my personal life, and give my address out to people. I mean, who want to do that? That's stupid. And the person who I went to school with, who I'm talking to more on Facebook, thinks the same way as well. And it's just sad that I won't be able to see that person on video form at all. So yeah, just gotta talk to him. Just gotta talk to that person through the comments. So yeah, it's really cold out here, freezing to death. Yeah. So I'm just done with everybody who I knew in the past. I'm done with these people. So yeah, now I guess I mean, to the children of the people who I went to school with, they probably won't care if I was friends with their parents or not. They're probably gonna look at me. They're probably gonna look at me as a creep, a dangerous person. Not gonna give me a passing thought. Right? They're probably gonna call 911 and call the police if they think I'm gonna attack them or something. So yeah, paranoia through the max here in America. You know, there's no hope for me here. So there's hope for me overseas. So that's all I gotta say in this video. Bye. Yeah, life is short. I'm gonna waste it away on all this nonsense that I went through in the past and just going through it again. It's just not worth it, and yeah, I mean, there was a class reunion of the Sabine High School class of 1999. I didn't know anything about it until I got on Facebook. I mean, if I went there, I mean, I would just be there. I'm just there. I mean, I'm just wasting my time there. I mean, none of these people glad to see me anyway. I mean, I'm just there. I'm just there. I mean, if I'm a potential threat, they'll put me down. I mean, because all the negative, all the people who just treated me like garbage. I mean, through jobs that I have and from my own family and police officers, like, into the police officers, like here in Texas, if I lose it in anger and lash out at them, if I lash out at them, they'll kill me. They'll put me down. I mean, yeah. They'll use their police training to take me out because and I choose not to do that, because I'm not going to end my life over some incompetent disgrace of a law enforcement officer. And a lot of these police officers in Texas are total absolute jokes. I mean, they're a joke, and these authority figures, these strong, tough authority figures. I mean, these judges. I mean, this some idiot asked me about the construction here. I'm at a park in Overton. He driving up in a beat up car, asking me, "Hey, bro, where's the lake at, bro? I mean, they're tearing stuff down. You know where this is?" Like, I don't live here. He said, "Oh, sorry about that, bro." Idiot. Yeah. God, that guy was incredibly stupid. Jeez. So I was going to get harassed. I thought I was going to get harassed and told I can't be here. I just can't wait I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Yeah. So what I was about to say, I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, yeah, my parents telling me I'm saying things that I'm not saying on Facebook. My dad's getting all paranoid and saying that, oh, I'm talking about I hate this and I hate that on Facebook, and they're watching me, and they will nail me. And my mother tells me that I'm going on Facebook and telling people my personal business by giving out my address, and I just didn't say anything to them. I mean, I didn't say nothing to them. I mean, if I try to defend myself, they'll cut me off and say that, oh, because they're right and I'm wrong. So I decided not to get angry and get upset about it because, used to do this in the past with them, but not anymore because, I just got to the point that I just really don't care anymore because, um, if I was treated right and give the opportunities, and I mean, I wouldn't be quote unquote doing what you think I'm doing, which I'm not. Yeah. Had dreams about being overseas, being in the United Kingdom and walking around and buying some food there, and enjoying myself, and had another dream about being overseas. I'm thinking about going overseas. I think Europe. I think living in Europe will be best for me. Because uh, staying here in America. Well, here in Texas, like and I'm being viewed as an outcast and a potential threat, and a loser, an outcast and a potential threat. And if I lash out at them, I'll be put down, and like, and they got this thing here in Texas. They love the death penalty, and they will put someone to death if someone murders somebody. Like, I mean, when it comes to a murderer, I think a murderer is a scumbag. A murderer takes someone's life, and shows no remorse. I mean, I think that person should be punished. But here in Texas, they just take it to a whole new level, like with the death penalty. Like, they'll just execute this person, and they don't care if they're innocent, guilty, or have a mental illness. They'll just put them down, And the people who have mental illness, who are innocent, I mean, and someone who is mentally retarded, who doesn't know any better, I feel sorry for those people, And Texas, like, I think executed some people in the past, executed people like that in the past, It's sickening, And I feel like, I almost ended up with those people. Thank God. Also here in Texas, like, they just like to, like, judge people and put people down. They look at people as like pieces of garbage, and they walk around. They think they're better than everybody, and they have this superiority complex and all this crap, with the straight face and all, I talked to this fat guy, he didn't want to talk to me. He had this straight face. Had this serious look on his face, and he just don't want to have anything to do with me, Yeah, those people, yeah. Yeah, and someone who I went to school with, I told someone who I went to school with about this, and they said that, well, yeah, I mean, everybody gets treated like that. I mean, and that's true, and I agree with that. you know, you know, but when I travel outside of Texas, and I go to other states, and go to other countries outside of America, I feel like I'm just like everybody else. I'm just a normal person. Nobody judges me. I don't get the same treatment that I get here. I mean, it's just like this, it's just like this. I mean, here in Texas, I mean, this is my point of view. I mean, um, everything is so backwards. Nothing makes any sense. Everything is weird and crazy and out of whack, and everything is in black and white. But when I step into another state in America or a country overseas, I just stepped into a whole new world of color. I mean, everything is in color. Everything makes sense. Everything makes good, logical sense. I mean, no craziness, no weirdness, no stupidity, none of that stuff. In my opinion, I think life in Texas is just totally out of whack and so phony. Like, I mean, I mean, I don't say this like, I mean, race. I know where I live is so racist. I mean, the white people hate black people, and it's like this in America. Like, white America is very funny towards like African Americans, black people. I mean, they view black people as like savages, mentally unstable, and a bunch of killers and thieves. That's what they view them as, And, to me, I don't have a racist bone in my body. I was born in Southern California, born in a city called Oceanside, California. It's about 35 to 38 miles from San Diego, and about 76 to 80 miles from Los Angeles. I'm from that place, I'm from that city, and I grew up around a bunch of white people, little to no black people, Mexicans, Asians, and Samoans, and mixed race people, and I was friends with the kids, and I played with the kids, and when I was a little boy in the 80s out in Southern California, and I remember this little black girl walked up to me at the playground, grabbed me by the hand, and just took me around the playground. I think she liked me. And I played with the white kids, and I played with the Mexican kids and the Asian kids, and I was around a lot of white people. I was around a lot of them, been around a lot of them here in Texas, and when it comes to race, I just don't care about it, because your skin color and your race doesn't mean anything to me. All I care about is what kind of person you are on the inside, not what you look like on the outside. So that's how I feel. So yeah, I just saw a police officer circling around my car and driving away. Yeah. Anyway, I don't care about race. I don't care if you're white, black, brown, yellow, red. I don't care who you are. If you're a good person, I'll talk to you. I'll form a friendship with you. But if you treat me like crap and treat me like dirt, get away from me. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Okay? If you talk about race and putting other race of people down and praising one race, I don't want to have anything to do with you at all. And I let nobody, I don't let anybody take advantage of me at all. So that's all I want to add in this video. Thank you for watching. Listen up, and listen up good. I don't care about all the stuff that I went through in the past, and I'm probably going to go through this in the future. But hear me out. I'm thinking about, I'm going to travel, I'm going overseas, I'm going to get my life together, I'm going to settle down, find that special woman, and hope she's sweet, feminine, kind, down to earth, and understandable, and start a family with her after marrying her. You know, I know my dad's gonna check this video out on Facebook and confront me about, oh, I can't say this and I can't say that. You know what? I don't really care. He thinks I'm doing bad things, and he thinks I'm gonna lose it. I'm dangerous and I got a problem, and oh yeah, he took me to see all these shrinks that never helped me. I really don't care anymore. You know what? It doesn't matter. I mean, one day he's gonna pass away and I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free. And there's no need for me, and I'm not really doing this to tell my personal business online. I don't care. I really don't care.